I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. In remarks on the Senate floor Tuesday, Senator Rand Paul tried to pass his amendment by unanimous consent to prohibit the funding of gain-of-function research in China. The Kentucky Republican said that research, quote, conducted in a secretive and totalitarian country is simply too risky to fund. The unanimous consent request was objected to by Senator Maria Cantwell.
Over 6 million people died worldwide from COVID. Over 1 million Americans died from COVID. Last year, we passed unanimously an amendment I had to ban any U.S. tax dollars from going to Wuhan, China, to the lab. There's a great deal of evidence that this pandemic arose out of the lab. Gain-of-function research enhances the severity of transmissibility of existing viruses that may infect humans. The dangers are so acute that from 2014 to 2017, the National Institutes of Health suspended funding for all gain-of-function projects. The emergence of COVID serves as a reminder that this dangerous research conducted in a secretive and totalitarian country is simply too risky to fund. I therefore ask my colleagues to restore this crucial provision that would prohibit the funding of gain-of-function research in China. I ask unanimous consent that it be in order to call up my amendment, number 5159. I further ask that there be 30 minutes of debate, equally divided between the two leaders or their designees. And finally, upon the use or yielding back of that time, the Senate vote on adoption of my amendment with no intervening action or debate.
Is there objection?
Madam President, reserving the right to object. Madam President, no one could be more disappointed than myself in the fact that we don't have a conference report before us at this point in time. With so many different committees and four corners working to resolve so many issues, I had hoped that we would get over the goal line and be here with that conference report. Unfortunately, events overtook us, and objectives of the calendar and a variety of issues that narrowed the discussion we have before us today to two focus points. One, the Science Committee's work with the Commerce Committee in the Senate, and language that basically would incent the semiconductor industry. And our colleagues voted to proceed on those two measures, and there was a lot of discussion on what the definition of a skinny bill was. Not sure exactly how, I know a lot of the events that got us to that discussion. But I will say to my colleague that he's correct. When USICA left the United States Senate, it included this language. And this language was very much debated in conference. And it was part of the jurisdiction of several committees, but primarily the Health Committee, whose content is now not part of the legislation we're considering. So I am hopeful that we will get those committees who have jurisdiction over this language to rectify their differences between the House and the Senate, but that's what Four Corners is. It's rectifying these issues between the House and the Senate. And I hope that my colleague will work with me on a conference that will continue after this point. I hope that we get this legislation done, and then I hope that we literally return to finish up the rest of the conference work, because there are so many important issues like this that we should include in the legislation. So I hope my colleague will continue to work with us, knowing that this is not all of the issues that had been discussed, but a more narrow issue, so therefore I object.
Objection is heard.